You're watching Scorching and Swearing with your host, Brandon Swear.
Hello, and welcome on into another amazing episode of Scorching and Swearing. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and man, it's going to be another pod episode, and these are going to be also some very special peppers. So these are created by Nick Kemps of HellGarden. If you have seen any of the social posts that he's been sharing lately, these HyperNovas are just absolutely stunning. So with me today I have the HyperNova Orange, the HyperNova Red, and the HyperNova Chocolate. So there's the orange for everyone to see up close. I mean, just wicked looking, nice tail, bumpy, twisted. There's the red. Once again, beautiful. And then the chocolate. So, man, this is gonna be absolutely amazing. So we're gonna dive into not one, but all three. So starting with the orange, and then we'll go red, and then we'll go chocolate. Now, Nick has quite a few amazing pods that are exclusive to his crosses, and they are all just violent, you know, in both looks, and from what I have experienced through his tinctures, I know that they're hot. So can't wait to get into the rest of them, but this is going to be kicking off a nice run of episodes where we focus on some Nick Kemp's cross work. So we're going to be really taking a look at that, but let's go ahead and get this one nice and cut open. Take a look. Get it nice and going. Oh man, that is deadly. That is oily, oily, oily. Man, this is going to be intense. I am going to just remove a small little spot, and I'll show you right now. Looks like maybe on the inner fold something got to it. Nothing too crazy, but if you look right there on that one side, there's just a small amount. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out real quick. Alright, so once again, to give y'all a close-up of what I cut out, just that little corner that kind of held that stinger on. But all in all, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Man, I don't know if this is going to pick it up, but look at the oils. See that yellowish oil at the tip of the blade? That just came off of from doing surgery. To say this thing is oily is an understatement. All right, well, here we go. This is the orange HyperNova from Nick Kemps of HellGarden, and I'm Brandon Swear. Let's get it. Man, flavorful right off the bat. Nice citrus, not sweet, but just a nice citrus forward taste. Overall, beautiful body to this. There was a few moments where it got a little bit bitter, but nothing crazy. I mean, just a touch. Honestly, I also wonder, I scraped out the other side just to kind of remove that, but Don't think that really changed the overall flavor, but citrusy the whole way through. That's pretty much the solo note through the whole entire thing, with just a brief moment of bitter. But this thing is piping hot. I mean, it jumps out and hits quick. The burn is only in the back of the throat and nowhere else. Now, trying to see if it's opening up the sinuses. Not quite yet, but the burn, like I said, centralized in the back of the throat. For an orange pod, that's pretty darn hot, so kudos there. Tasty one. Not certain what the parents are to this cross, but whatever it is, it's a scorcher. While we continue, I'm going to go ahead and cut this next one open just to get a good idea of what the oils look like in the next one. I'm going to clean off the blade. All right, nice clean slate. Take a look at what this one looks like. Man, oily, oily, oily. All right, let's take a look. This thing looks sinister already. Oh, very fruity aroma on this one, so I'm excited for that. But it is also extremely chinense, and it's got a lot of oil going on in there. Pretty nice total placenta on this. All in all, phenomenal. Let's get this one going. Before I jump on in, just to let you know kind of where that first one's at. Still really gravitating towards the throat. Now it's kind of like the mid-upper part of the throat for the overall burn. Kind of dancing around the vocal cord area, but phenomenal pepper. Like I said, just very citrus forward taste, and that's about pretty much it, with a touch of bitter. That's going to be a beautiful pepper to use in many different things, and I'm sure it'll make a phenomenal tink with that citrus taste. So, but cheers. All right, this one, I'm gonna get the rest of it chewed up. This one, right off the bat, nice fruity note coming through, but the second that the fruity note starts to kick in, probably got halfway through the pod chewing it, and then the bitterness, and then a slight touch of floral comes through on that. All in all, this one is just a completely different burn, lashing to the mouth, to the gums, really just getting in there and burning deep in the mouth. Still in the back of the throat as well, but as to where the orange one didn't really affect the mouth too much, the red one is just lashing on all over the mouth right now. Sitting on the higher back portion of the throat. Definitely opening up the sinuses now. I can feel that one doing that, but man, hot pepper right off the bat. It kicks in quick. It's a slower build. It's not a very steep build. It is a gradual, slow build on this, but it is just flogging the mouth. Absolutely just pulsating on the tongue, wrapped around. You can really hear it too, because I can feel it on the back of my vocal cord area in my throat, and that thing is just boom, boom, boom. I mean, it's like a heartbeat pulse every second. Pretty darn good. That is a nice burn. Man, that's a nice burn. Man, all right, I'm trying to think what that would be like heat-wise. It's still building. I'm trying to give it a good assessment, but I don't want to call it too early. This one has a lot more legs than the orange, but that's kind of to be expected. One being an orange, one being a red. So, all in all, phenomenal job there. What we're gonna do while this one is still building, still smoldering in the back of the throat. Man, all right, not bad. Got a nice happy tear going on here. It's a very good burn off of 2 peppers. Definitely getting this thing cleaned. I want to see what the oils look like on this file in a pod, and I am salivating like crazy. This is, it's got my taste buds just going overtime. It still has a nice overall, so while the bitter and the floral came through, the fruitiness kind of faded out. The fruitiness is back as it's kind of finishing out the overall burn. It is just really soaked in and sitting in the back of the throat. It's got the sinuses going pretty good, like I said. Eyes are pretty glassy right now. I've had 1 tear come down so far. Let's see if we can get some more. I feel that one starting to diminish. And before we have that one completely going, I wanted to go ahead and get into the next one. Let's see if I can get into that. Oh man, wicked oily, just like the other 2. Blade is super wet. This one kind of did what the yellow did. I'm gonna have to kind of remove a bit more out of this one here. Let me show you. So if you look right there, you know, you got some on one side over here and some on the other, but all in all, you might even be able to see it on one of the seeds itself. It's kind of growing. Now the other side's the side that has the most. So right, I mean, there's still some on that wall, but I'll leave that on the top part alone. But this side down here, if that's focusing on me, not on this part right in here, if you can see that part, just kind of remove a good bit of that. Hate to do that, but there's just a little bit left on the top, a little bit left on the bottom of the residual, but that should remove most of the flavor change. By the way, now that I've been, you know, chopping away on this, the burn from the first 2 completely gone, 100% back to normal. This is the chocolate HyperNova from Nick Kemps, and let's get it. Smoky, earthy, nutty, bitter. That one's just really rolling through those. And as I was saying that, that's kind of the transition that it took. It started out smoky, then went earthy, then went nutty, and then the bitterness kicked in. The aftertaste on this one is a lot more bitter than the other 2. The you know, section that I had to cut out might have had something to do with the overall bitterness kind of coming through on this, because the way that it initially came across with that smoky, earthy, nutty, it seems as if that would be the main carrying profile to this pepper, just based on how it went, because it wasn't really until I got all that pepper nice and pulverized and sloshed around that I really started to get that bitterness. All in all, heat wise, I know I had to remove quite a bit on that, but I think the overall heat and burn advantage goes to the red pod. The chocolate pod could have just been the surgery that was performed, or it just might have been that the red pod is actually that much hotter. But and for all those that don't know, I mean, that's just very simply from a heavy rain that could have caused that. It's very natural, very common. That's why you're always encouraged to cut open your peppers and kind of take a look. By all means, the burn on this one really gravitating towards the mid part of the mouth, a little bit on the lower part of the jaw, almost the back of the throat. As I'm saying that now, I'm starting to feel it gravitate now towards the mid part of the throat. Got the sinuses going again. So nothing really in the chest, nothing in the stomach. All in all, it's mostly a mid-mouth burn and heavy throat burn on all three of these pods. If I had to give it an order of what I thought was hotter, so from hottest to least hot out of these three, it was definitely the hottest was the red HyperNova, then it was the chocolate, and then it was the orange. Flavor wise, I think I liked the red the most, with a very close second being the orange. The flavor profile on both of those are really good. The fact that the citrus carries through the whole way through on the orange pod is phenomenal. So that's a great taste and pepper there. The chocolate, I think honestly the smoky, earthy, nutty notes were phenomenal. I think honestly the bitterness is just a one-off fluke, if you will, to the overall thing. Although the red did have a little bit of a bitter note, but it was just very faint. So who knows? Maybe it's supposed to be in that overall flavor profile. But that's how I would rank them on flavor. And man, I think as far as a chocolate pod goes, it was a very good, clean tasting chocolate pod, hitting all the notes that I would like to see and what I'm looking for in a chocolate pod. But yeah, my hat's off to you, Nick, for this HyperNova. Man, this thing is phenomenal, and definitely excited to see where it goes. Appreciate you sending me these, Nick. These are phenomenal, and I look forward to trying out your other crosses. And hey, if you're looking for pods, I will have everything down below for Nick over at HellGarden. You can grab yourself fresh pods. He's got amazing fire suckers, and so spicy suckers, as well as he has phenomenal tinctures, some with flavor, some not, but definitely check those out. And man, all right, so the burn is completely gone, back to normal, and this has been another amazing episode from Everything from the World of Hot. I'm Brandon Swear, and this is Scorching and Swearing.
This has been Scorching and Swearing with your host, Brandon Swear.